There's no easy way out. I just wanna know there's no easy way out. No easy way out. I'm not asking for another chance. The chance.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the No Easy Way Out podcast. My name is Tony Nash, and we are coming to you as always from the Woodworth Building in beautiful downtown Owasso, home to my company, AZ Branding Solutions, where we help grow your brand from A to Z. So I'm joined today by a fun couple, Jacke and Allie McGuire. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we're going to get into all things of what you guys do, but first I want to kind of let the audience know how I know you guys or how we met. So I met Jack, or Jeff, right? I met Jack at Tanglewood. I was the GM of the Comstock at the time, and we had hired him to run the restaurant. And so we're both fellow hospitality guys. Mm-hmm. Those were good days.
Those were good days.
Yeah.
Those were busy days too.
Very busy days. Yeah, that place was hopping back in those days.
It was.
Lots of people coming in and out, live entertainment every weekend. It was a happening place. And we made it cool, right?
It was cool.
We made it cool, yeah.
Good time.
Yeah. So how long did you work in restaurants?
Ooh,
A lot of
I've been in
years.
restaurants maybe over a decade.
Do you miss it?
The food,
Yes.
people. You miss the people, but
Yep.
But
Yep.
in the fast pace, you find other places.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are times where I miss it, but just for a minute.
Right.
Just
my
for
body,
a minute,
my
right?
body doesn't miss it.
You don't miss the hours. Yeah, you don't miss the schedule, but it's fun. I just like to go to restaurants now and hotels and just enjoy the experience and then just pick apart what everyone's doing wrong.
Yeah, pick apart every aspect of it.
My wife hates going to hotels with me because I pick apart everything. She's like, could you just enjoy the experience? So then I met Allie. Mm-hmm. We were neighbors.
Yes, we were.
Our first space was up on the Exchange building in a little like corner office, and we were just getting started. And there was this huge, really cool space right next to us. And I always thought, man, something cool should go in here, but I didn't know what it should be. And then all of a sudden, I started meeting Allie. She started coming up there and building out this awesome space, which is now Studio Owasso. But you guys kind of did your own thing. Tell the audience kind of what you guys did up there.
Yeah. Well, we said we have this great, big, huge space. We want to do something creative and something beautiful and brilliant. What should that be? And so we took a look at what we were doing with our company AwareNow, Awareness Ties at that time. And we said, how can we use this space to amplify our mission and our vision to raise awareness for causes and to support different causes? And so we like to do that through arts and entertainment.
Yeah.
And so having been working with the Hollywood Film Festival and doing a lot of work in LA, we said, let's bring some of that to Owasso. So Jack installed a 40 seat?
48.
48 seat theater.
Yes, I remember. It was awesome.
Old theater seats. We decked out the whole place with really cool lights, put in a projector screen. Our vision was to screen films there, social impact films, and create a community space for storytelling. And so that's how we started. That was our vision for that space. So
Well, just so you know, so one of our filmmakers, he's done like 6 or 7 short films. He made one called Because He Listened. It was right after the pandemic. It was a story. It was like a 7 or 8 minute film about this young lady that was contemplating suicide. And it actually took place over here on the bridge crossing the river. And at the beginning, she's contemplating suicide, and a guy comes along and kind of just starts talking to her, and then she ends up on a bench, and because this guy just listened to what she was going through, it changed her whole. So the whole kind of subliminal message, or maybe not subliminal, was you should just listen to people sometimes, not always talk, but just hear what people are going through. And we did the premiere of that movie up in your space after you guys had moved out. We did a whole premiere. We had popcorn and all the treats up there. We had red carpet. The vision came to reality even
There you
after
go.
you guys were out of there. So I was
That's
sad
good.
to see the seats go out, but it's cool what Jen's done with the space.
For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
We're just happy to see that it's used.
Yes, it's such a cool space.
it's an amazing space. And so, but that's the awesome thing, right? Like, how will you use a space? How will this space serve?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
And so how can you serve others with this space? And so we've always, with AwareNow, wanted to be a stage for these stories to be seen, these stories to be heard. So in the example you just shared, through a film, being able to use storytelling to be of service.
I mean, it's the stories that motivate people.
Absolutely. absolutely. And what a powerful medium, right? So my other memory of up there, and I think I sent you something. So there was a day where I was working in my office, and you would come over and you're like, we have a bat in our space. And I grew up, like, for whatever reason, every house we ever moved into had bats. So there's a video that my daughter took of me coming over there with my laptop bag trying to kill this bat.
Nice.
Yeah, we were not successful, but
No.
that was a fun day. So,
was.
so now you guys have moved into the Armory, and we'll talk about that. But before we get into that, tell our audience just a little bit about you guys, and then we're going to talk about Awareness Now.
Yeah. Would you like to begin, or shall I?
You shall begin.
Okay,
You shall
so
begin.
Jack and I, we met online. We fell in love.
Which website? Can we tell?
But, you know, we both swiped right. And we,
For you.
yeah. And after.
So it works.
It does work. People, it works. We're living proof of this.
Yeah.
So 4 weeks later, we were married.
Right.
We believe that you do something wrong enough times in a row, you know when it's right.
There you
That's
go.
right.
So 4 weeks later, we were married, and we started Awareness Ties, both having careers in different paths and different directions. We said, what can we do together with the talent that we have, the experience that we have, to do something of service? Because at the end of the day, we said, why isn't this enough? Why isn't this enough? And we felt like it's because we could not be in service enough. And so that's why we created it. Actually, it started out in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So we were at Paramount Studios. We were putting together an event for social impact filmmakers who were setting the gold standard in social impact filmmaking. And so, you know, instead of a black tie event, we said, let's do a gold tie event. Gold like your mic.
Yes.
A gold tie event. And being a symbol of support for these social impact filmmakers, a visual symbol of support. And so on the flight back, Jack was like, I think there's something to this.
Right. Why, you know, there's support ribbons. We could have support ties and really make a difference and really raise awareness.
Right.
And you tell the story so well, so go ahead.
I shall continue. And so we said, Jack said, let's go ahead and create a whole series of ties, different colors, to support different causes.
Great idea.
And so it's a cool zipper tie. And we actually had them produced. And so where you put it on, you zip it up, it's a zipper tie. So good for girls, for guys, for kids, for adults. And it's meant to be a symbol of support. So imagine going to a concert and you see just this sea of purple ties.
Yeah.
And so what solidarity visually does that provide? And so it's meant to raise awareness for causes and then also provide funding for nonprofits. And so that was the win in that. And so we had events set up on top of the Witt Hotel in Chicago with American Cancer Society, with Samsung in LA, and then
The NFL, think of the NFL with a whole stadium filled with people wearing the same tie. Like, think of veterans. And then the proceeds going to all the veterans.
Right.
Like,
so that's
Incredible.
what we had set up, and that's where the conversations were going, and then the pandemic. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
all events stopped.
Yeah, and so events were off the table, all bets were off the table. So we said, what are we going to do now? Because it was raise awareness one tie at a time. And then we were talking, we said the tie, it wasn't really about the physical tie. It
What
was
ties us together.
ties us together, because the tie was really meant to be just a conversation starter.
Right.
It was meant to start the conversations.
And a show of solidarity.
And it shows solidarity. So
Yeah.
you see someone walking down the street and you're like, Allie, what the heck with this obnoxious orange tie? And I can say, well, let me tell you, I've got a story. I was diagnosed with MS 2 years ago. Let me tell you the story. And so to be able to get right to it, we said, let's just cut right to the chase. And Jack said, let's just start getting stories out there. Let's start interviewing
Well,
people.
on top of that, with awareness ties, we had a cause guides for each cause where you could get help, give help, and just some stories in it. I'm like, we already have those guides. You know, let's do a magazine. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, the best thing to do is reach out to people for interviews and have them tell their stories. And it just kind of went
Grew
crazy
from there.
yeah.
Grew from there. Yeah.
And I love on the website how you guys have like the periodic table of causes, right? And you've come
Yeah.
up with the abbreviation for that, and that's really cool how you guys have that laid out and how they click to different things. That was very creative.
Even the numbers mean
Thank
like
you.
1 out of 40 people suffer from this, or
Right.
so every aspect. Like, we took some time
Yeah.
really building it out. And
Well, you know me, I'm a brand guy, so I love seeing the intricate details of what you guys did there, and maybe everybody doesn't notice those details, but I did, and I thought it was really, really cool.
Okay.
I think it's awesome what you guys are doing. So, So tell our audience then, what is AwareNow doing today? Like, I know it was Awareness Ties. Now you've kind of rebranded a little bit to AwareNow. You have the magazine, but tell the audience a little bit about, everything that you're doing and kind of what they can do to participate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just to clarify, Awareness Ties kind of runs in the background where AwareNow is like the media facing side.
Gotcha.
Right. So AwareNow, it's AwareNow Magazine, AwareNow Magazine, AwareNow Podcast, AwareNow Films, AwareNow Events. AwareNow Music is going to be launched this month here in Owasso.
Right here in hometown.
Yeah, right here in the hometown, right here in Owasso. So that's really exciting. And actually, everything that AwareNow does, it's all about raising awareness through storytelling. And so really trying to create this space where we can amplify these stories, or personal stories, exclusive interviews. And so the way people can interact with us is really AwareNow is for anyone who wants to hear or share a story that will be of service to others.
You guys mentioned, spending time in LA, Chicago, all these big places. When you're from a small town like Owasso, that seems really big and really cool. So tell our audience a little bit like how you got to the place where you were doing work in LA. I know you have a background there. Are you from that area?
No, actually from here. I'm actually from another tiny town, Newaygo.
Oh, no, I've been to Newaygo. Yeah, I've been to Newaygo. That's just north of Grand Rapids, right? Yeah. Wow. So to tell our audience a little bit how you ended up then in LA and how you kind of got those gigs. And it's just such a cool thing, for us small town folk. We think LA, it's the big city.
It's really beautiful, actually. With the Hollywood Film Festival thing, she was sitting behind the CEO of Hollywood Film Festival on a plane, and he was talking, and she's like, no, that's not right. You should probably do this. And he's like, who are you?
Who's this crazy woman telling me what I should do? Like, I'm just saying.
Sometimes you just got to speak up, right?
So then that's how that, so
Yeah.
you did that for 2 years, right?
Yeah, so that's how that got started. I corrected a stranger about a particular subject, and he said, hey, I think you should come out to LA, and I think you should be involved in the Hollywood Film Festival. So that is how I got involved. And so I was doing that for a few years, moved out to LA. And then after that was in San Francisco, moved into the tech and did entertainment. And then when Jack and I got together, when we met, then Jack came into it, and he was a natural fit for the work that was being done. And so then the two of us sort of tag teamed and rocked out the Hollywood Film Festival. And so that's how that happened.
It's really funny. This is a funny story. So first time I'm out there, I don't know any of these people, right? I don't know my role. I don't know what I'm going to do
Just a small town
necessarily.
girl, right?
All right. I'm like, so I know how to cook, right? So
Yes,
there's our
you do.
team there, right? So I'm like, I love to observe and figure out what's going on before I jump in. So like a whole day, I'm like doing the food and just getting to know like what is actually going on here. And then I'm like day 2, I'm like, all right, guys, we need you to do this. You do this. We need a board. We need because everyone was running with their heads cut off.
Take charge.
Right. I like operations. I like to get things done. I'm like, this isn't going to succeed
Right.
if we don't do it this way. And then Allie and she was doing all the computer stuff, and I did all the logistic stuff, like everything.
Yeah.
So that hospitality background came into play
Exactly.
big time.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you're in a restaurant or a hotel environment, if you're not, if you don't have a plan,
It's always
and
a
the people
plan.
start coming, it's chaos. So
Right.
you learn very quick. Like I got to have a strategy of what we're going to do to take care of all these things
Right.
and all these people. Well, I can hear the passion and the excitement in your guys' voice when you talk about it. So tell us a little bit about what you love so much about what you guys get to do for a living.
I think it's just, there's not a day where Jack and I are in conversation where I don't just end up in tears just because I'm talking about a story that we've recently shared. I think it's just what we love the most is just being able to be of service, being able to use storytelling when you know the impact you can make in someone's life by someone either sharing their story or someone hearing a story. That changes worlds sometimes, and actually
100%.
on occasion has saved lives.
And that's our goal, is to change the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't change anyone by telling them to change. You can't force laws on them. You can't force anyone to change. They have to want to change. So the only thing you can do is educate them.
Right.
And that we do that with stories.
Right. It's just getting that exposure. And so through storytelling, like we just wondered one day, like, could storytelling be like the salve that we need for humanity, for our society? And so that's what we're really passionate about, is just being professional storytellers to be in service.
Well, and I think it's so important because I think one of the biggest casualties of the pandemic is that people don't talk to each other anymore. We all kind of like get thrown into this box, or we feel like we have to choose which box we want to be in, instead of just like realizing that like most of us have like way more in common than we have different. And most people you meet are just good, kind people if you just sit down and have a conversation with them. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the distance, I don't know if it was the craziness going on in the media, I don't know if it was all of the misinformation that was going every which way and we didn't know what to believe. But I've just noticed that, I'm such a people person. One of the things that was hardest for me was just not being able to talk to people. And then people are like observing everybody only through the lens of their social media. And so they're putting all these like, pieces together and making assumptions about people. Well, you did that, so you must be this kind of person, and not just sitting down and having conversation or listening to someone's story or listening to what they're going through. The pandemic affected people in such a real way and in so many different ways. And we were so quick. I don't want to say we, because I wasn't. I purposed to not be this way, but a lot of people were so quick to just judge how somebody was reacting to the pandemic or what was happening or what they were doing or what they weren't doing. And it lost that such vital piece of the fabric of society to listen to each other, to talk to each other, to share your stories. You never know what your story might do to help somebody else, or what you're going through might relate to somebody else. So I think it's awesome that you guys are using stories to do that. I think it's going to it probably already has opened up a lot of conversation. It just is lacking in our society.
Absolutely. Well, I think also it's just like you had mentioned, our periodic table, our table of causes, and to say, Jack always says, maybe you're a veteran and maybe you have cancer, or maybe there's lots of boxes that you check, but because we've become so siloed as a society, we're unable to, there's like a barrier to your point, like how can we connect? So what we have decided is that we support all causes, but specifically the human cause. Because that is a cause that you have, that I have, that you have over there, that you have.
Yeah.
We all do.
Absolutely. No, I love it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the siloing, that's like, to your point, I think that's what happened. I think society was siloed. Yeah. I mean, and that's why we built this, just to really make everyone connect.
Right.
Well, then everybody got in these echo chambers, right? Where you're just like around a few people that think exactly like you and talk. And so you feel like this is how, and then you stop listening to people that have maybe a different perspective, or how that thing affected them in a different way. And, and so I think it's such a needed thing. It's such an important thing. And I wish you guys all the luck as you guys continue to do this. I think it's such a creative way of doing it. And I look forward to seeing how you guys grow and how you guys move on into the future. So tell our audience what's going on today. I know there's a big event coming to town. Yeah. Tell our audience like what's going on, what's coming up, especially, most of our listeners are in Shiawassee County, I think almost 80%. And so, we have a sizable audience for this area. And so this is a good way to let people know like what's going on and how they can interact with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so this is an issue of our magazine, AwareNow. And so on the cover, this is Callie Bevier, and this is who is coming to town on August 18th. She is going to be performing at the Lebowski Theater. And so the concert, I just keep bopping everything around.
Okay.
Is called Head Held High. And so this is actually the song, her original song that she sang on America's Got Talent.
The Gold Buzzer.
Well, for the Gold Buzzer, she sang a different song. She sang Fight Song.
Fight Song.
Yeah, and that's where she got Simon's very first Gold Buzzer.
Yes.
After that, she decided, she's a Midwest girl, grew up in Ohio, and she decided.
Grand Rapids, Ohio.
Yeah, Grand Rapids, Ohio. And she's like, I'm going to go to LA and do this thing. And so she did. And she's been doing amazing work out there and all over the country. So she's one of our ambassadors. So for all of our causes, we have ambassadors.
Yeah. She's been with us for about 5-6 years, right?
Well, 4 years. About 4 years, yeah.
Or 4 years.
Yep.
One of those.
Give or take a year.
Long time. Yep. And so
Pandemic made everything seem longer, right?
yeah,
Like
time is a weird thing.
Yes.
A construct. But so Callie's going to come and with Sean, with her partner, and it's going to be a really beautiful acoustic concert and storytelling event, all about overcoming adversity, embracing our diversity. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful concert, and we're excited.
Sounds exciting. Yeah. So how do people get tickets? How do they sign up? Like give them
Yeah.
all the info.
For sure. They can come to our website, so IamAwareNow.com. They can go to the Lebowski's website and get the ticket link there. Callie, at the age of 15, overcame stage 3 ovarian cancer.
Yes.
That's one cause. It's very near and dear to her. She's also a member of the LGBTQ community, so she can really speak to the adversity that she's had to face in that respect. So, yeah.
So with AwareNow Music launching, our goal is to bring bigger acts to smaller places
Communities,
to really
yeah.
make this a destination place
Yeah.
and really put a spotlight on local community and local, love and just giving people a, I don't know,
Taste.
You
taste
don't
of-
Taste of
know.
a
Sure.
bigger city. Yeah. Well, I mean, we have such cool venues
Yeah.
with the Lebowski and the amphitheater.
Yeah.
Those are two, I think, such cool venues in this little town that we have. The Lebowski has been, I think, revitalized, reimagined over the last several years, and they're bringing in some really cool stuff in terms of performances and plays. I'd love to see more musicians come in. I feel like the amphitheater is so underutilized. It's such a cool, huge line. I know parking is kind of an issue, but I think, I was in New York for several years, and they had the town I was in, Saratoga Springs, is not much bigger than Owasso, much bigger population, but as far as, the size of the community wasn't that much bigger. And they had an outdoor performing arts center, and they used to bring in really, really big acts. And so it brought people from all over.
Yeah.
And I think these small towns could benefit from those things like that, even, economically.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Well, and it's, again, just wanting to bring the outside in, right? And so if something isn't here, we'll bring it, And because at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know until you know. So to just have the exposure and the taste of
Right.
other things,
and staying on brand with AwareNow. What I was trying to get to is any AwareNow music that we launch, it'll always have a purpose. It'll have a nonprofit attached
cause
to.
behind it.
Yeah.
Right. So songs to support. For
Right.
sure.
Well, and people might say, why Owasso? And I always say, why not Owasso, right? I think it's awesome. So keep up the good work. So August 18th,
August
August
18th.
get your tickets. Go to awarenow.com. Is that right? IamAwareNow.com. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Or you can scan the poster in front of Lebowski.
Yeah.
Yep. We've got posters
Get your
everywhere.
tickets. And Lebowski, so how many tickets are available? Like, how many tickets can you sell at the Lebowski? Is it 500?
Well, there's only 500. So
Yeah.
if you want to go,
better
now is
get
the
your-
time to get your ticket.
And I think all the VIP sold out yesterday.
All the VIP sold out. So, but come, it's going to be an incredible show. And there's an after party.
Yeah.
Rivals is sponsoring the after party. There'll be a complimentary champagne toast. You get to meet Callie. It's going to be a really awesome day.
Yeah, and if you don't know who Callie is, just go to YouTube and search Callie Bevier,
Yeah.
Golden Buzzer. She was on AGT twice.
Yeah.
But she got Simon Cowell's first ever Golden Buzzer, which is pretty tough to do because he's a pretty tough critic.
Yeah.
So inspiring just that by itself. So yeah, go check it out. And that's awesome, guys. Well, I appreciate you telling us all about that stuff. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go through our next segment, which we call 50 Questions. And so 50 questions, 50 answers. Today, 50 questions, 100 answers, because we have two people. So this is just a way for us to take about, the next 10 to 12 minutes to just get to know you guys, all the things that maybe you didn't want people to know, they're going to know now after this. And it's going to be on the internet forever. So
Forever.
are you guys ready for that? I got to have my
Ready.
questions in front of me because I can't remember 50. Okay, start real simple. How did you start your day today?
Making the bed. Because you get one task done
Yeah.
and you can go on about your day.
Yeah, I
Right.
love it.
Took a shower.
Also
You
a
smell
good
nice.
way to start your day.
Thank you.
If you could spend the day with anyone in the world, who would it be?
Jack.
Each other? Oh, wow. So the question is, what would you do with that person?
Well, change the world.
Change the world. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. What is the one thing you'd love to master? Or what is one thing you would love to master? Maybe not the one thing, but something you'd love to master.
Letting go, maybe.
Time management for me.
Time
but-
management. But
If you learn that one, give me a call. I would like to master that one as well.
knowing when to let go of something and go another direction.
Yeah. It's also a tough one. Are you a texter or a caller?
Text me to set up a call. I'm a little bit of.
I'd
Are you
like
free
to
for a call?
say, yeah, I'd like to say that I am a caller, but I'm very much a texter. But I'm trying to be a caller.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop texting me. Just call me.
So who's the last person you texted?
Each other, I'm sure.
Each other? You guys are so cute. Where were you guys born and raised?
Jack?
I wasn't.
You were not born or raised.
I was born in Flint, raised in Frankenmuth. Flint,
Okay.
Frankenmuth.
I was born in Philadelphia, raised in Newaygo.
West Philadelphia?
Born and raised.
You
No,
spent most
just
of your-
born. Just
Did you
born,
spend
raised in
your
Newaygo.
playground most of your days? All right, we won't go through the whole song, but
Okay.
what is your favorite genre of movie? You Hollywood Film Festivalers.
That's a tough one.
You like horror movies and stuff.
Well,
This is a hard one.
since we've had kids, it's kid movies.
Yes.
I mean, we
I
barely
totally
get to
get
watch
it. I have 6 kids, so movie night is always like Disney or Marvel or something.
Marvel,
you know.
right? Or we'll watch a movie and it's like in 10 sections.
Yes.
Like, okay, we'll get like 30 minutes and we fall asleep.
But we
Oh,
produced
man,
the short
I don't
film.
make it 30.
We produced the short film section for the Hollywood Film Festival, so I fell in love with that format. I love short films.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So then the next question is, and this is always a tough one for people, what is your favorite movie? Like you get one. What's the movie you could watch over and over?
Long silence. There. Breakfast at Tiffany's is one of my favorites.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Man, it's tough. It's probably Legends of the Fall. I can watch that all the time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Even though it makes me ball up like a baby.
So if you could be any character that you've seen in a movie, not like you don't have to play this character, but actually be that character in real life, who would that be?
Trinity.
Neo. That's funny.
Which our cat is named Neo.
Our cat is named Neo.
That's great.
And our cat before that was named Trinity, so that's funny.
Great. If you don't
We're
know,
wearing
they're
black.
talking about The Matrix.
Right.
It's a good series. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
At least the first one's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Favorite actor?
Oh, I guess I'll go Keanu just to keep it in.
Yeah, I have to go old
Son
school.
loves John Wick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say Audrey Hepburn.
Favorite actress? So you gave us an actress, so now you got to go an actor, and you have to go an actress.
Winona Ryder. I've always
Good one.
Winona.
Morgan Freeman.
All right. All good. You guys are doing great. You're doing
Did
great.
you
These
say
are all good
female?
answers.
Did you say female?
But we
You
had
did
to
a female
flip.
first.
I see.
You did
Reverse
Audrey
flip it.
Hepburn, then Morgan Freeman.
I was thinking.
She's an old soul.
No.
Old soul. All right. Did you guys go to college, and where?
I went to school for 10 years at various colleges and never got a degree because I change all the time. So 10 years of college, no degree.
Lots of experience.
Yes. Lots of experience.
I did go to college and then trade school. I went for computer animation and then cosmetology.
All right. So I don't need to ask them what you guys studied. That's why he looks so beautiful.
Oh, yes.
What have you done for the first time recently?
What have you done for me lately? Is what I thought you were going to say.
What have you done for me lately? First time recently.
First time recently.
Besides bring an AGT contestant to Owasso. Can't use that one.
Let's see. Man, we've just been doing what we do.
Really just letting, the compass go where it goes. Letting go. Just letting
Learning.
everything be organic
That's
and
been a
not
new
force
development.
things. Important.
In 10 years, what will you regret doing way too much of?
I know we both just thought drinking probably, but
Well, I wasn't thinking that, but I mean,
coffee.
Drinking coffee.
Gosh, I would say maybe analyzing things.
And really, I'd say not spending enough time with family, working too much.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a theme. You guys are analytical people. I understand that. You want things to be perfect, trying to let go of let the compass take us where it needs to go and not control every aspect. That is a very difficult thing for me. It's real. I get it. I understand it. We are cohorts in that one for sure.
But
If you guys
understanding,
figure it out, let me know.
but understanding that everything works out the way it's supposed to, regardless of
Yeah.
your
Right.
actions.
Because-
When you move with vision and purpose, yeah, I mean, but on the other side of that, I'm such a visionary. So we were just talking about the space, and all I can do is talk about where the space isn't instead of where it is. I'm like explaining, like, we were going to do this and we're going to do that, instead of just like, here, this is what it is. Because as a visionary, I can always see the end. So it's almost like I have a hard time being content in where we are and knowing that we still have a long way to go. You know what I mean?
Everyone
enjoy the
focuses on
moment.
what's next.
Live in the moment. Yeah.
When it's like, well, look what we're doing.
An interview we did the other day with Yost, who's a musician in Australia, is me coming over in November to do a tour. He said there is no there. It's like, what is your biggest learning as a musician? Because we're always trying to get there. Well, once I'm there, but when you understand there is no there.
Oh, it's what's next. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing about Owasso?
I would say just that feeling of home. Jack's lived a lot of places. I've lived a lot of places, traveled all over the world. And when you can find a place where you can create this sense, this feeling of home, of safe, that's a pretty cool thing.
And it's home, but it's centralized. You can get to every market you need to. You can go big market. You can get to nature, and it's still, feels quaint.
Love that. Love that. If you could resurrect one person from history, from the dead, and bring him back, who would that be?
For me, it would probably be, I was going to say Maya Angelou just because she's
what I
my
thought you were
favorite
gonna say, right.
poet, but then I would say Martin Luther King, and to help him, join him, work with him to have his dream.
Sit behind him on the plane and tell him, no, you're not doing that right.
And either Einstein or Tesla, for me. Like, I would just like to see how their minds would work now.
Yeah. What is your perfect dessert?
Creme brulee.
For real?
Reals.
For real?
What?
Carrot cake?
Oh, carrot cake too.
Yeah.
But creme brulee is fun.
Also carrot cake.
And just anything chocolate for me.
Yeah, he's a big chocolate monster.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that you love more about Owasso than LA? There's probably a lot of things, but
Our family's here. It's
Again, it's that feeling of home. I think when you can find that in the world, it's a very big world what we're in. When you find that space where you feel safe.
what is a daily habit everyone should do?
make their bed. Only because.
Take a shower.
Or take a shower.
What we did.
One time we heard, if you can't get anything done today, you at least got one task done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real principle for sure.
I think one thing we should try to do, and I try to do, is do 3 things: inhale, exhale, repeat. And if you can simply just be present and do that, let's just focus on that. Yeah.
Favorite fast food?
You don't really like fast food.
I'm not. Is Starbucks? Can I say Starbucks? I'm a
Sure, that's
coffee
fast,
person.
I'm
So
Starbucks. I'm a Starbucks girl too.
And I'd say Taco Bell. Just
Yeah. My kids. This is a tangent here, but my kids hate Taco Bell. And I don't understand it. It's so bad for you, but it's so good. It's just a guilty pleasure, right? But my kids hate all of them. They hate Taco Bell. I'm like, what in the world is wrong with you? But they'll eat McDonald's, which I think is awful. So hey, to each their own, right?
that's right.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Superman.
Superman. Oh,
If I
from
go crazy, the world used to. Yeah.
I'm like Superman. I'm like dun, 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 dun.
Tough one to sing. John Williams, Superman. She just hums it.
And mine, I guess, would be I still haven't found what I'm looking for from you two.
Who has the better sunsets, the Great Lakes or the Pacific Ocean?
I'm an ocean fan.
Yeah, I would
That's
say.
tough to compete with an ocean sunset, for sure. If you say the Great Lakes, you're just lying to yourself.
And
right?
they're both beautiful, though. I mean,
both beautiful.
I mean, but you can't see across it, so it might as well be
Yeah,
the ocean.
yeah,
I
might
mean,
as well.
there's that.
I think the question should be: is it sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise. Okay, give us that one. Sunrise or sunset?
I'm sunset.
I'm sunrise.
Yeah, that's where we
Opposites
fit.
attract. Describe yourself as a kid. Got that look like.
Constantly curious.
Oh. Trouble.
I just read a book that said you have to one of the things that it was called the 15 Invaluable Laws of Personal Growth, and one of the things that encourages you to surround yourself with curious people. So we need to hang out a little bit more. Hang out a little bit more. What is one thing that your kids have unexpectedly taught you?
To see the world with innocence. Just how everything's a new experience to them, and just to really enjoy every aspect of everything.
And I would say also that everything's going to be okay.
What advice would you give to your 16-year-old self?
Don't listen to the naysayers and just do you.
I would say slow down.
Wow.
That's fair too.
What is the first time that you truly felt successful?
I think success. I think when we found our purpose, success didn't matter. It was more purpose-driven and passion. It's more like when we found our passion, we felt success.
Yeah, when passion became purpose. I would say personally for me, it was when I recited my first poem on stage in front of a very large audience, and I didn't miss a beat, and that's when I really felt like this is something.
I think success is defined individually. I think that society or whoever kind of gives you what success looks like, but if you haven't taken the time in your own life to determine what success looks like to you, you'll never feel successful. And you say when our passion became our purpose, like if that's success to you, then you know that, and then you can be happy in that, and you can build on that. But a lot of people live unhappily because they never took the time to really define what that would be. Favorite podcast?
Wait, don't tell me.
Is that what it's called?
Podcast?
Yeah.
Oh,
NPR. Oh, sorry.
She's like, wait, don't tell me. I'm not going to tell you.
Our podcast.
Well, yeah, and your podcast too. It's all the
they're all
things,
good. They're all
but
good.
yeah, they're all good.
Must-read book.
The Universe in a Nutshell from Hawking.
And I would probably say a tie between the Celestine Prophecy and Goobers. And if you've not
Goobers.
read Goobers before, I know the name. Don't let the name be
Yeah.
like what the what.
Check it out.
But it's by Linda Goodman, and you will cry on every page because it's so beautifully written.
Stranded on a desert island, you get one album for the rest of your life. Which one is it?
It's a Radiohead one for me.
A Radiohead for you. I would say Miles Davis for me.
We'd be on an island together then.
Yeah.
Stranded by yourself, sorry. If Hollywood made a movie about you, who would you like to see cast as you?
I mean, yours would be Halle Berry.
Oh, I can totally see it. I can totally see it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, sometimes people would call me Allie Berry because of it, but sure. I mean, that would be a compliment. Who would be you?
I mean, Pee Wee Herman just died, so
Not laughing that he died, but just laughing
right,
at
right,
the
understand.
analogy there.
oh, maybe.
Bradley Cooper, I could see it also.
Colin Farrell I used to get before he got a little wider.
Pudgy. He did it for a role, right?
I think so.
Let's see here. Do you own any clothes that are not black? I wore my black shirt today because I've never seen Jacke and Allie in anything but black.
Hey, my socks are hip and blue.
There you go.
Yep. His socks have colors in it. Black just
You're
feels
on brand.
comfortable.
Yes, I like it because it's thinning.
That's the only reason I wear
And
it.
it goes with everything. This way, you don't have to worry about it matching anything. If you just
Yes.
always wear black, then you're
Black goes with
solid.
everything.
Yeah,
But we do. We have colors.
we do.
We have ties that are colorful. We know that.
And we went through a funky phase.
And the great thing about black is you can wear any color tie with it, right?
That's true.
Absolutely.
Any color tie with black. And John Wick wears black.
Oh, that's
Neo
true.
wears black.
Right.
So it's all on brand.
It
on
all
brand.
works.
It's finding your light in the darkness.
That's right. Seinfeld or The Office?
I like The Office.
I like The Office too.
All
Yeah.
right. Favorite quote?
Well, for me, it's "We will no longer ask permission to change the world." It's my quote, but it's
It's a good one. It's a good one. I like it.
I like this one too, and I also like one of our ambassadors, Sage Gallen, who's an artist in New York. He said, "Nothing offends the darkness more than the light."
Very
So
good.
very inspiring for when you're feeling like, why is it so hard? It's because you're doing the right things.
Don't live in the darkness. Bring people to the light. I love that. Favorite place you've ever been?
right here, right now.
Love that.
Gosh, we've been so many places.
It's the present is all I can really come up
Live
with.
in the moment.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. You had one last meal. What are you eating? Hopefully not Taco Bell.
Well, mine would be wings but I think it's
Oh,
because
dude, I'm a big wing guy.
I'm a big wing guy. But every Friday night, Phoenix, my oldest son, and I have wings together. So I don't know if it's the wings or the company,
Company, yeah.
because that's the only time I get to like sit down and we
Yeah.
talk. And
I would say it's Jack's spicy shrimp impasta. Every day that I was pregnant, I was like, I need that. It's so good.
So we just talked about this earlier, so I'm going to let you define it. What is success to you?
Being aligned with your intention.
nice answer.
Yeah, that's very good. Now you got to try to do better than that, Jack.
Like I'm saying, success is, it's relative to the passion you have. If you're not happy, if you're not hitting your goals, then success is a personal thing, like you said.
Yeah.
That's all it can be. It's not by anyone else's rules.
And just define it, right? And it could change. As seasons change, as life changes, your definition of success might change. And so, adapt, right? One random fact about you.
Random fact. Oh, there's nothing but random facts
All
about
that
me.
all that popped
We
in
just
my
want
head.
one.
All that popped in my head was I like big butts and I cannot lie. That's the only thing. And it's not even.
Hey,
random.
but it's relatable. It's relatable, right? It's a whole song about it.
Let's see. Random fact.
Random fact. When Forrest was born, he'd been to Allié, our son, 3 times before he was 6 months old.
Oh.
One time on a train across the country when he was 3 months old.
You don't even remember it, but what an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We remember.
I
remember,
bet.
yeah.
I bet.
My random fact is that every time something feels like not quite right, you know how something's just not right, and you can't explain why, you just know why, and you just feel why. My bone in my toe will like start to ache. So if something like feels off or like this isn't good people, this isn't the right situation, that little bone in my toe will start to like ache.
Wow. Does it
That's
work
a
for
random
other
fact.
people?
Is that not random?
Does it work for other people?
I-
Like if I had something going on, could I call you like, hey, how's your toe feeling?
No, it's not like a tuning fork. No, it's
Man, I need that.
Tuning toe.
tuning.
What is your love language?
Mine's service.
Service.
Same. Yeah.
That's also mine. So we all love each other. That's great.
Right.
If you could have any job in the world, what would it be?
We made it.
Good answer. If you could broadcast a message to the entire world right now, what would it be?
Live life with apathy and empathy and
Empathy, yeah.
be open.
I think mine would be something you alluded to earlier, and it would be Maya Angelou's quote to say, "We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike."
What is your proudest achievement?
What we've built together. Really staying course and making sure nothing knocked us off and just rocking it out.
Yeah, I think it's just both professionally and personally, just creating a life where there are no regrets, where you're not afraid to fail. Because if you want to win, you can't be afraid of that. And so I think it's just having that confidence and that strength to keep moving, even when things are against you, you just keep going.
And I can honestly just in the times I've seen you guys and even spending time with you guys today, you guys really love each other. And the fact that you get to do this together is really inspiring. And I love that for you guys. I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
I don't think it's something you can fake. You guys are, if you are, you're good actors and actresses. So. What is something important that you've learned in life that could help others be successful?
Always ask yourself, why am I doing this? If you find your why, then you'll find your purpose.
I would also say that things happen for a reason and things don't happen for a reason. And I think that's a really important lesson for people to learn.
It's something we talk every day, actually. I'm like, well, if that didn't work, then it meant we're going this
It
way.
wasn't supposed to, yeah.
You guys made it to question number 50.
All right.
Get it. So here it goes. Last question. With everything going on in your life today, what makes you most happy these days?
Our favorite moment is sitting down when we get home, right? Well, to me.
Yeah, no, I think it's at the end of the day, just looking at what we've done in the office, what's been happening at home. It's just reflecting and having gratitude for
One of our core
the
values.
moments. Yeah.
We used to sit down and play a game of chess every night and have a beverage and talk over the day.
Yeah. Now we watch reruns of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
It's a great show. It's a great show. Well, you guys did it. Thank you guys for doing that. Studio
Thank you.
audience, round of applause. Yeah.
Thank
Thank you
so
for
much.
having
Just
us.
one in the studio audience this morning. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. We appreciate it. We love hearing what you guys are doing. We're excited about the upcoming events and look forward to just watching you guys grow and being a part of this community and part of what makes this community great.
Thank you so much.
One thing I would like to share
Yes.
is with the magazine, it's free. It's always free. So all you have to do is go to I'mAwareNow.com and subscribe to it, and you get it in your inbox digitally every month.
Awesome. Well, so the last thing I was going to do is I was going to say, before we go, you can look into this camera right here, and you can plug whatever you want to plug. The one right there, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Plug whatever you want to plug. Plug as many things as you want to plug, and let the people know how they can get it.
All right. Yeah. So here we go. This is everyone in Shiawassee County and outside as well. Please come and join us for Head Held High acoustic concert storytelling event featuring Callie Bevier, August 18th. It's going to be amazing. So please come. Please join us. We'd love to have you part of that evening. It's going to be very special. It's also going to be filmed and will be making its rounds in the 2024 Film Festival circuit. So come and be part of that. Probably the magazine too, like Jack just said. So AwareNow Magazine, it's always free online, and every month we're releasing a new edition with A-listers to no-listers about all the different causes, but always the cause that ties us all together, which is the human cause. So that's what I would say.
Awesome. Great plug. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Great plug, guys. Check them out. Go to their website, go to the concert, and get involved. I'm certain that you're watching and you have some cause that is important to you. Maybe you have a story to share. So get a hold of them and share your story. You never know what your story might do to help somebody else.
Absolutely.
A gentleman that I really admire says a quote: "You never know what small act you could do today that could change the life of millions tomorrow." So don't be afraid to speak out and be heard. There's somebody that will resonate with. You know, we've been doing this podcast, and it's always amazing to me who will reach out and say, "Hey, I listened to this, and it really helped me." And you're like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that episode or whatever." But you just never know. So it's important that our voice is heard. Talk about the things that are important to you, and Jack and Allie can help you with that. So, all right. Well, and if you're still with us, thank you for watching. As my mother always said, you can't and never could until you tried. So go out there and try something great, my friends, and don't take the easy way out. We'll see you next time.